L'accord de Paris pour le climat est accepté.
In Paris, 197 countries acknowledged climate change is a serious threat. They pledged major cuts in greenhouse gas emissions. Global emissions were on track to rise to 69 gigatons of CO2 per year by 2030 under business as usual. Paris would reduce that to 56 billion. The U.S. pledge makes up about 1/5 of the reduction. China, the world's largest emitter, contributes 27%, and the rest of the world makes up the remainder. But since taking office, President Trump has been working to undo the policies behind the U.S. pledge, from restarting the controversial Keystone XL oil pipeline to ordering a rewrite of the Obama administration's power plant emissions regulations.
Perhaps no single regulation threatens our miners, energy workers, and companies more than this crushing attack on American industry.
In some ways, pulling out of Paris is a formality, says the World Resources Institute's Andrew Light.
The Trump administration has already signaled that they want to do damage to what the last administration was doing with respect to our national targets on climate change. And they were going to do that regardless of whether they stayed in Paris or not.
But Light notes that U.S. emissions are going down regardless of what Trump does. Power plants are switching from coal to cleaner natural gas. Wind and solar are cheaper than fossil fuel power in many places. And, he adds, other forces beyond Trump's control are heading toward a lower carbon economy.
Many states and cities and businesses are already moving in that direction. They're going to continue on the policies that they're doing regardless of this administration. So climatically, not a huge difference, unless other countries start leaving Paris because the U.S. has left Paris.
China has said it will stay the course. India has ambitious plans for renewable energy. Light says it's possible the world will meet the Paris goals without the United States.
If, as predicted, China and India achieve their targets for 2030 earlier than they said they were going to achieve them, then you actually got enough tons out there in the world to make up that gap. But I'm not comfortable with those kinds of calculations.
And Paris alone was not enough to keep the planet from what scientists say are dangerous levels of warming. More action would be needed, and Light says under Trump, that is unlikely. Steve Baragona, VOA News, Washington.